India has supreme heritage. A lot got lost in colonial times. In Delhi, we are seeing a very beautiful exhibition on Buddhism and life of Buddha, and it has a very unique character to it. To explain the details of this exhibition and what is so important about it, I have with me Mr. Vivek Agarwal. Namaskar, sir.
Namaskar.
He is the Secretary of the Ministry of Culture. Mr. Agarwal, this particular exhibition where we are showing the relics of Lord Buddha, what is special about it and how did we acquire the relics?
So this is the exhibition which has been named The Light and the Lotus, Relics of the Awakened One. Awakened One is, of course, Buddha.
Lord Buddha.
The importance of this exhibition is that this exhibition shows the life and message of Buddha from the light of objects which are dated from 5th century BC to 20th century AD. These objects are his relics, the jewel relics, his bone relics, the reliquaries and the casket in which they were found 127 years ago in Piprahwa,
which is near Gorakhpur.
Which is near Gorakhpur in Siddharthnagar district, but which is actually the Kapilvastu, the capital of the Sakya clan to which Gautam Buddha himself belonged.
Where he spent a lot of time.
He spent his childhood there till he went out for his ascetic life that he followed, and he left his home. So the story goes that...
So with this exhibition, we are also proving the provenance of Kapilvastu, correct?
Yes, of course.
That is important.
That is very important because Kapilvastu, being in India, being the place which is directly associated with Buddha and his early life is really important. And the most important part is that the relics of Buddha...
Because also to clarify, earlier Nepal used to say Kapilvastu was there, but the seal which has been found now confirms it. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, it's absolutely correct. It's also correct that it's a border area between Nepal and India. But Kapilvastu is the place where this stupa was and where these relics were found. That is proven. The excavation that happened and the seals that have been found that are also on display in the Light and Lotus exhibition that is at the Raipathoda Cultural Complex. The beauty of this exhibition is that it's not only showing the relics of Lord Buddha, which were found about 27 years ago, it's also the objects which are connected to the life and times of Buddha, the sculptures, the manuscripts, the inscriptions, the paintings, and all these objects, as I said, range from 5th century BC to 20th century AD, and they range for the period of 5 dynasties, right from the Mauryan dynasty to the Gupta period, the Kushana period, the Pala period. That was a very rich period of the Buddhism iconography, and then the Pallava period in South India, and the various objects that have been found from various international locations, Cambodia, Thailand, Japan. So it's a complete exhibition which can explain the entire life and times of Buddha. It also explains the basic message of Buddhism, right from Pratitya Samutpad and the Parimitas, that are the main teachings of Lord Buddha, and his Mahashtparihara, the 8 main events of his life. And the description goes in a seamless fashion. You start from the relics and the jewels, and then you move from the relic jewels to different aspects of Buddha's life, shown the place of excavation, the entire story of repatriation, which is also unique because this is...
We'll come to that.
Okay.
Sure, you go ahead, sir.
So the description is about the exhibition per se. There's an orientation. Then there is a complete depiction of the actual excavation site, how the excavation happened, what were the objects that came out, including the large casket that came out of that excavation, and the beautiful reliquaries. Actually, those containers which are made of, one is of crystal. That's a crystal rock. It has the figure of a fish on the top, which has filling of gold dust in it.
Sure.
So imagine the capacity of Indian artisans at that time and the level of industry that India had, which could produce such beautiful pieces, which are still very relevant and which would be very difficult to make even with the modern equipment, which were done by hand at that time. The other beautiful part is the relic jewels themselves. The beauty and the luster of these relic jewels, which are of precious stones, which are of pearls, gold, and other precious materials, they shine their craftsmanship and also the strong Buddhist stamp on these objects, because there are three ratnas, there are flower petal-like objects with 8 leaves, there are
and the bird,
the swan.
Sure.
So it's really amazing exhibition.
Now let's come to the point where the repatriation happened. Tell me a little bit about first the excavation which happened in Piprahwa, and then let's come how they went out of India and how you, like a crime thriller, you seem to have brought them back to India.
So it's a very long and amazing story. 127 years ago, in 1898, there was an estate manager, a British estate manager. His name was William Claxton Pape. He was managing that estate in which the Kapil Vastu is situated, which is modern day. It's called Piprahwa and Siddharthnagar district in UP. So since he was the estate manager, he had a certain territory that he controlled. In that area, there was this stupa, which was actually a mound covered with earth. So he started digging that, and in the dig, about 18 feet below the surface, he found a large casket.
He chanced on it.
Yeah, he chanced on it. And that large casket had 5 containers. Out of them, one was crystal. The other were all soapstone containers. And in these containers, there were the relics of Buddha, his bone relics, and also the jewels, which were offerings of the Sakya clan when these bone relics were put in this stupa. Sure. And the proof that these relics belong to Buddha came out from one of the containers, on which in Brahmi script it is written that these are the relics of the awakened one, which were consigned by the Sakya clan along with their wives, brothers, sisters, and sons, and their entire group in honor of Lord Buddha. So that was a clear proof that these are relics of Lord Buddha. Once they were taken out, a small part of the jewel relics were kept in the Indian Museum, Kolkata, and a large part was taken by Pepe himself as part of the permission that the then British Indian government gave him. And he took those jewels to England. And from there, these jewels passed on to his heirs, and they went to one Chris Pepe in US, who decided to auction them off. And when the news came of their auction by Sothebys at Hong Kong, then we were informed about this auction that is happening, and then we started taking
Why
action.
did it come to Hong Kong?
I think the Pepe family would have realized that the value of anything connected to Buddha is in Asia, and to realize the best value, because for them they are objects.
Sure.
For us, they are not objects; they are relics, and they are deeply connected.
Living
to our
Buddha
souls.
for us.
That's a living Buddha for us. So they thought that they can get a best price in Asia and Hong Kong, so they brought them to Hong Kong for auction. And when that news came to us in Government of India, at the highest level, that the decision was taken that we need to act upon it.
Highest level meaning the Prime Minister level.
Yes, that highest level in India is the highest. I mean, there can't be any doubt about it. So the action started. We first approached the government of UK to act and stop the auction. When we did not get any positive response from them, even in spite of the Minister of Culture meeting the Minister of Culture of UK during her visit in India, we decided to take the things in our own hands. Just 2 days, but after trying everything, just 2 days before the auction, we decided to issue a legal notice. We also roped in the FIU India, the Financial Intelligence Unit, and acted and issued notices to FIU of Hong Kong. The action that we took resulted in our conference with Sothebys.
And this is all happening in a matter of hours and days.
Yes, it was 5th of May, 6th of May, and 7th of May 2025 was the date of auction. So the action that we took and the negotiations that we had with them and the message that was given clearly that this is an illegal thing that they're doing resulted in stopping the auction. And on 7th of May, the auction was stopped.
It's not easy to stop a Sotheby's auction.
I think the conviction that was with us and the support that we had from the highest office of the land, we pushed ahead. And of course, it's also the grace of Lord Buddha himself.
True, absolutely.
That gave us success. The auction was stopped. Good sense prevailed with Sotheby's as well as Chris Pepe. They started negotiating with us that how we can bring these relics back.
Now, before we go there, let me also ask you, in your earlier posting, you were with the Ministry of Finance. And did that play out, your skill from there play out in getting these jewels back?
Of course, I had that experience of being director of the Financial Intelligence Unit for quite some time. And since I was head of Indian delegation to the Financial Action Task Force, I knew about the procedures, which are international procedures for working on financial crimes. And wherever there are proceeds of crime, they could be action could be taken through the Egmont Protocol of FIU. So you're right. My previous experience with being Additional Secretary of Department of Revenue and Director of FIU and Head of Indian Delegation to FATF helped me to structure the legal aspect of our action from here. And that was also successful because I was also in touch with the Sothebys unit in India because they are the reporting entities of FIU. So that connection also helped in giving the right messaging. And that action helped us to get the auction stopped. Once the auction got stopped, the Sotheby's team and Chris Pepe started negotiating with us in good sense that how we can bring these relics back to India. There was also a lot of news that spread throughout the Buddhist world, and a lot of support came from all the Buddhist communities across the world on social media, on regular media. So there was a lot of pressure both on Sotheby's and the Pepe family to help get the relics back to India. And when this entire process was going on, Piprahwa Godrej stepped in. He offered that he can
from the Godrej
Group, so that they offered that they can step in and help in bringing the relics back to India. So
why didn't the government themselves buy? हम बुरे नहीं हैं, हमारे पास इतनी कमी नहीं है.
No, in fact, the government stand was very clear. We had taken this, it was very clear in our mind that these are not objects, these are not art objects, and there cannot be any value placed on these objects. So government stepping in and trying to value something and paying for it was not as per our own thinking and as per our
philosophy
and as per our own philosophy. So when this offer came, it was considered and it was decided that in case the conditions that are imposed by government are accepted both by the Sotheby's and Pepe family and the Indian who's participating, then government can be a participant in bringing the relics back to India.
So do we know how much was paid by Mr. Godrej to Mr. Pepe and to Sotheby's?
No, we don't. We never went into it and we never asked it because that was, as I said, that was against our philosophy. So we don't believe and we did not believe in a payment being made, and we did not participate in any of those negotiations. The only conditions that we placed were that when the jewels, the relic jewels, they come back to India, they will be placed in the custody of Government of India. They cannot leave Indian shores once they come back without Government of India's consent. Whenever Government of India wants to have them on display, the prerogative remains with us. They cannot be sold again. They have to be kept in public display. For 5 years, the large part of the relics would stay in Government of India's custody and would be displayed by government. And even beyond that, they have to be put on public display. even if they remain with a private museum. So overall, the conditions were acceptable to our partner, and with a good partnership and a written tripartite agreement, the relic jewels were brought back.
So is this the first time, Mr. Agarwal, that we have a public-private partnership in the repatriation of Indian heritage which had been lost?
Yes, this is the first instance where the government has acted with a corporate to bring India's heritage back. And we strongly believe, and the top leadership of India also believes, that India doesn't mean only government. Bharat means all the stakeholders of this country. So the corporates are also equal stakeholders in protection of the culture and heritage of the country. So not only in repatriation, we are opening up the entire culture sector for all sorts of public-private partnerships. So wherever we can have support from stakeholders, from corporates, from art collectors, from common people, we are welcoming the support, and we are building structures which are transparent structures for this support to come and also help us in doing our job well, and also preserving India's cultural heritage, Bharat's cultural heritage, and the preserved cultural heritage being brought to the common people in right displays, in proper museum displays. And that is also one of the major initiatives we are taking to build the Yuge Yugin Bharat Museum.
So a window opened, and now there is a door to more public-private participation in culture and heritage and museums.
That's right. It's an absolute commitment from our side that not only we are opening up the door, we are actually opening up a full floodgate for the private sector investment to come in the field of culture and heritage.
Now, while this was happening, was there a pushback from Sothebys and from Chris Pepe? And after it happened, are all parties happy?
So initially there was a pushback when we were issuing legal notices and asserting our rights. But once the agreement was reached, there was a common agreement and there was a common ground on all sides. And we got cooperation both from Sothebys as well as the Pepe family. And the repatriation happened very smoothly.
So how many objects have we brought back?
So there are 349 jewel relics that have come as part of this package. Of course, we're treating it as one object as a whole. Overall,
that's unfair.
Yes, of course. We can always count each, because each of the jewel relic is an object of great beauty, of great heritage, and great religious significance. Sure. Because there are three ratnas, there are objects carved in the eight-petaled
ruby,
and they're all precious, precious stones, gold, pearls, and all types of material.
Now, is it correct that Mr. Pepe wanted about $100 million in Hong Kong currency as the base price for this, and he could well have sold individual jewels rather than all jewels together? So you should not probably class them as one, you should class them more. And that's been a part of...
Yeah, it's a question of perception, how you perceive it, because we perceive it as one whole part of the relics of Lord Buddha. So we never thought them as jewels per se. They are basically the representation of Lord Buddha himself.
Now, also in this exhibition, we are also displaying stuff which has remained hidden in our own vaults. So that is also a feather in your cap as Secretary, Ministry of Culture, to pull out from the vault in Indian Museum. Tell me a little about that.
So this is also interesting that for last 127 years, as we had lost one part of our heritage and taken out to England, the other part of the heritage was lying in our vaults, and we had not displayed them for so many years. So this actually allowed us to bring both the parts together and put them on display. And of course, the heritage objects that are there in our storage, in the 54 site museums of ASI, the central government museums and state government museums, We are now mapping all of them. So we've already mapped about 2 million objects around the country, and we are completing that exercise. Because when we are building the new museum, as per Honorable Prime Minister's vision, the Yuge Yugin Bharat Museum.
North and South Block.
So in this museum, we will not be looking at shifting objects from only one museum of India. This museum would be representing the best heritage objects from all over the country, from all our collections, and curated in a thematic sense, so that the themes, which are curated themes, we bring all objects connected to that theme, irrespective of the materials. As in the Light and the Lotus, we have mixed up the materials.
Sure.
So
there are 80 objects, beautiful objects.
And all are different materials. Sure. So similarly, in the Yuge Yugin Bharat Museum also, we are trying to curate themes with the different objects coming together for that particular theme.
Now, we are living in the 21st century. You brought back, in a way, Buddha alive for India and the world through this exhibition of relics and his body parts. Are we planning to do any DNA fingerprinting or any DNA analysis of the bone relics we have?
It's not required because it's already proven. And the relics of Buddha, we have different relics of Buddha, because when Lord Buddha achieved Mahaparinirvana, his relics were divided into 8 parts, and they were taken into 8 janpadas of the country. Then they were further subdivided, and a lot of stupas were built. We have got relics from Nagarjuna Konda, we have got Devni Mori relics, we have got the Piprahwa relics, and we have got other relics. All the provenance of these relics are proven.
I'm not talking by way of provenance. I'm talking by way of using modern technology to get back his DNA. So get Buddha back in today in a form which is only modern technology can do.
I don't think that is something that should even be thought of, because the thought and the life of Buddha is itself a living testament. It lives even today. So we need not use modern technology to create it again. The ancient scriptures and the ancient thought process is sufficient to keep this memory and this tradition alive. But of course, the upkeep, the display, the messaging, and the way Lord Buddha's relics are received in various parts of the world, that responsibility lies with Bharat, and we are very much alive and conscious about our responsibility, and we want to fulfill that in the right manner.
So going forward, will this exhibition be only temporary, or can it become permanent? Because it's a beautiful exhibition.
So we have planned to keep it here at least for 6 months, and beyond that we will decide as per the response we have. And then, of course, since we will be curating galleries in the Yuge Yugin Bharat Museum as well, so a decision can be taken to curate a bigger gallery in Yuge Yugin Bharat as well.
So a door opened for a new way of preserving Indian heritage. Would you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely. And I would take this opportunity to welcome all stakeholders of this beautiful and this culturally rich nation to come together and work together for fulfilling the mandate of bringing India's cultural heritage to the world.
Thanks a lot for speaking to me.
Thank you so much.
What a pleasure speaking to you, Mr. Agarwal. So that was Mr. Agarwal, Secretary, Ministry of Culture, telling us the unique way in which the Piprahwa relics, the relics of Lord Buddha, were brought back to India. It is no less than a crime thriller on how India managed to stop the auction at Sothebys and then get a private partner and open a way of doing conservation of Indian heritage for India and Bharat for a long time. So a public-private partnership for bringing back the relics, repatriation of it, and all parties seem to be very happy with that. What a wonderful way of showcasing to the world Lord Buddha and his life. In New Delhi, Pallav Bagla for NDTV.